to our podcast called Complicated Discord. My name is Dex.
Yo. My name is Javon.
And we're joined by these two lovely young ladies. We got Esther, Miss Thick.
Queen
Parker.
Esther.
And we have Melissa, my little cousin, Parker.
Hi.
So, how y'all doing today?
Doing just fine. And yourself?
Yep, I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm in
was
Florida,
your fall?
so it's only so much.
How was your fall?
I stayed home and ain't do shit. I loved it.
Yeah, we're in that age group. Right on.
Yo, it's crazy. When you become an adult, man, you pray for days you get to stay in the house and not do shit. As a kid, you ain't never want to stay in the house.
You always wanted to be out. I'm praying for the days that I could just stay in my bed without, Mommy,
Right.
Can I have this?
Actually, I was the one who wanted to be home. I used to ask my mom, stay home today, and she would let me. Sometimes she would let me.
Must be nice, Esther. Must be
I know.
nice.
96. Blizzard of 96 was where it was at.
On behalf of everyone else who had to go to school, fuck you, okay?
My bad.
You have to go to
Also-
school? I stayed home that blizzard.
Hey, but you know what? To get this conversation started, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share this screen. I want y'all to, I'm going to read something to y'all, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Hang on a sec. So this post that I'm sharing is about this little story that I ran into. And it's perfect because it works out with what I wanted to talk about today. And this post basically explains how this woman is outraged after this dude refused to pay for her dinner. They got the little conversation here. Keep in mind that the lady is the white one and the dude is blue, right? So I guess they must have went out before. So the guy hit her up and was like, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?" She goes, "After what you did last time, you expect me to go out with you again? Wow." So he's like, "Yo, what have I done?" She said, "You made me pay for my own food and drink while you paid for yours. What the fuck?" And it gets better. So he goes, "So you invited me. You are lucky you didn't pay for my food too. Plus all I got was a Cabanera and a beer while you got a lobster and $80 wine, 80 euro wine, excuse me. And his food was only $17.50 while hers was 110 euros. And she was expecting him to pay. So she goes, "Wow, you're so rude. I'm never going out with you ever again. If you can't pay for a girl's food, then why accept the invite?" I'm gonna dig this shit apart here in a minute. Then she goes, "Gentlemen always pay for girls, but I guess you're gay."
The fuck?
Son, petty on level 50 right now. Then he goes, "Actually, I'm a gentleman. That's why I stayed and not left while you were talking about how much you liked so-and-so and that you wanted to make out with him." So she goes, "Fuck off, yada, yada. All you wanted anyway was to have sex with me. Anyway, bye, loser." So, of course, he claps back in general nigga nature. "Well, of course, I wanted to have sex with you, but then I realized I might not have the 20 euros for that." And she gets mad and calls me an asshole.
Burn. Because you, man.
Bro, first of all, this whole entitled shit where females feel like, we're not all.
That's not fair, man. Because it's like, if you take a girl out, of course you're expected to pay.
Yes, but if you invite me out, then you should be in all my fame of paying. Bro, if you call me and I'm sitting at my fucking house watching a movie, having dinner, you're like, "Bro, let's go out to dinner." Then shit, why am I?
That's your idea.
Huh?
That is your idea.
Exactly.
And that means you are responsible.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I wouldn't even, I've had girls say, "Hey, let's go out," and I pay for their food. I don't mind it. My thing is for you to sit down and expect me to do it like, "Yo, I invite you out, you're going to pay." Like, get the fuck out. Like, who the fuck are you? All you're bringing to the table is vagina. I mean, I could call one of my regulars and get that. Why would I have to go out to dinner and spend 180 euros just for your company? And it seems like she wasn't even that good company to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
But then, to play devil's advocate, I'm on the guy's side with this one. So I think, so she was blue. Okay, so basically he hit her up to go out again, right?
No.
So I would say the girl was wrong for not saying after that first date, like, "I would never go out with you again. You made me pay for my own meal," right? So for him to even get the idea to hit her up again, that must have meant he didn't even know there was a problem. So what did she do during this dinner? What did she do after? Did he say, hey, see you next time, for him to even get the clue to send her another message for date 2? Like, where is the communication? That's what's like, all of it. Yeah, okay, you talk all that shit. But when they got to the point where homeboy reached out the second time for another date, and now she has all these words for him, you should have told him that from the beginning. Like, hey, you made me pay for my own dinner. Don't hit me up ever again. Like, to avoid this.
And the crazy thing was, apparently he didn't smash to begin with. So
why hit her up again?
Exactly my point. You're not putting out. So why even waste the time? I know that sounds messed up.
The chance of getting some type of sexual pleasure is right there on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the motivation.
Well, not even so much. Not even so much. Because, as you know, Esther, we've been out plenty of times and not worried about who's paying for the bill, just because we enjoyed each other's company.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing is, like, and I've seen it plenty of times before, you'll take a girl out to get something to eat, right? Instead of trying to keep shit at a decent level, these motherfuckers will order 75 drinks, a lobster
the steak.
I mean, if you take advantage, that's a whole nother thing.
They will shovel about $300 worth of food into their fucking mouth, and
they can't eat it. That's my problem. Why can't eat it?
But then the crazy
take
thing
it
is,
home.
And the crazy thing is, some of these girls will do that shit, right? They'll do that shit, let you drop them off, and then call the drug dealer down about to come and smash off for a nickel bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, that's some disrespectful shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
this is my thing.
Let me ask you guys a question. How do you guys feel about, like, a girl that has a guy for everything? And are there a lot of them out there?
Well, okay.
I guess that answers my question.
A guy friend? You mean a guy that is solely her friend platonically?
No, I mean, like, how many girls are there with that, like, that have guys for everything? Like a guy that, takes them out for dinner, a guy that they just use for sex, for money.
Oh no, I'm not on that list at all. Okay. Like, guys do it. Yeah. So I mean, just an equality thing. Yes, women should be able to do it too. But do I feel like it's right? No, that's just using people. Like, it's another form of slavery in my head. Like, why can't you go earn, what it is that you want, or what? Hold on.
Let me stop you there. Personally, I feel like it depends on the situation. I mean, let's be honest. Hold on. Let's be honest. Let's say I met you and we decide, you know what, we gonna hook up, right? If you told me flat out, listen, I got another dude that pays my bills and I got somebody that washes my car, you just here for sex. Honestly, I don't see much of a downside for me.
Well, there's not a downside for you, but like, what's the pedigree of that person? I don't know. For me, that's important to have around me, like the pedigree of an individual. If I had time for empty energies and people that's not on my frequency, I'd be in my early 20s or a teenager, or maybe even an 8-year-old. You know what I'm saying? When I have time for the BS, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it all depends on who you are and what you're willing to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's the truth too. So to answer that question, I don't know. I feel as though, as Esther was saying, it's about your energy, it's about your level and where you want people to fit into those like categories. But it's also kind of rude to, I don't know, I see whenever I dated or looked for a guy, it was for a future. There's a future somewhere. If it's not marriage, it's okay, I can hang with this person for a while, right? So if I can hang with this person for a while, why would I just want you for this one capability? Yeah, you have to be well-rounded. But in the new age, like in this new generation or whatever, a lot of women are into this one pays my bills, this one takes me out to dinner, this one handles my car note. Like, what is it exactly that the female is doing if all of these dudes are handling all of that stuff?
Exactly my point.
Nathan, absolutely Nathan, nothing at all, which is absolutely disgusting. And I don't like the way that even sounds. Like, that's what I'm saying. What do you bring to the table for yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
Not even the next person. And like, I just want someone. A lot of people want to be kept.
Yes.
That's That's an issue. I'm like, so do you want to go back into slavery when master freaking gives you at least 1 meal a day? Yes, or master. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
like, I don't get it. I'm like, why are you so scared to go out there and work for yourself and obtain goals for yourself? What's up?
You know what's even crazy about this? Like, there's been a bunch of songs out and females out there. Like, that's been the general consensus for. Look at Destiny's Child, Can You Pay My Bills? Mm-hmm. Look at TLC, I Don't Want No Scrubs. Like, why I gotta do all that for you though? Like, hold on, don't get me wrong. I understand not wanting a guy that's broke that can't do shit. I get that. I completely get that. But here's my thing. More often than not, a lot of people feel like, well, you're the male. You're supposed to be the provider. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's touch on that there for a second. Shut the fuck up, by the way. Fuck you all the way. Anyway, here's the thing, right? When this whole, hey, the guy is the provider thing started, this was back in the days when women couldn't work. And even if you go to some like indigenous species now, indigenous people now, it's kind of like the men go out and they do the hunting and they come back. But on the other hand, do you know what the women are doing? They're at home cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids. And that's what it was. The whole men were providers because back in these women couldn't work. And women, they accepted that for the most part. And it was kind of like, okay, he's working, I'm going to be in the house and I'm going to contribute. I'm going to do my part too. So yeah, it was my job to sit down and take care of you completely, to buy you all the things you want. But you know what's crazy about that? Back in those days, whenever it was Christmas time with the birthday, you know what the guys used to give them as presents? They would give them like vacuum cleaners and
yeah,
and news, you know, I'm gonna make your life easier while you're in the house.
The child to take care of too.
You know, you want to give some presents? I'm gonna put another baby in you. I'm a good man. and the guy would come home, right? He would come home and his wife would have, you know, dinner on the table or at least in the pot, you know. The kids would be showered, homework would be done. All he had to do was sit down and maybe spend 15, 20 minutes with the kids, drink him a whiskey and eat dinner. But that back in the days was what was meant as the guy was the provider, you dig? Nowadays, it's a whole different thing because women fought for equality. They wanted to be equal. They wanted to be able to say, well, hey, I could do for myself. Okay, bitch, you could do for yourself. Well, then do for yourself. Don't expect me to do it for you, you know? And I know somebody's going to be like, oh, man, you just cheap. No, believe it or not, because me and my wife right now, our first date, we went, where was it? We went to McDonald's and sat down at the pier and just kind of kicked it, got to know each other. Second date, she met my boys and I took them to Panera. The third date, I flew her out to Hawaii. So it ain't about what I have to do for you. If I want to do something, let me do it, but don't make me feel obligated just because I have just because I have the penis, because I'm the guy, I shouldn't be obligated to take care of your stuff. It's kind of like, you know, people say, oh, the guy should pay most of the bills in the house. No. Listen, a relationship is a partnership. And if we ain't splitting this 50-50, then what's the point of it? You dig what I'm saying?
I concur. But maybe there's a reason. No. I was gonna be like, well, maybe there's a reason you should pay more of the bills. You guys like to forget lights on. You guys like to leave your drawers on the floor, the socks. You know, you want food to be eaten. What happens in a household where both parties are working? And there's children in tow. Does the gentleman still feel like he needs that meal to happen because the kids need to be taken care of? I just went to work and break it down.
See, that whole thing, I guess that would depend on the dude. Like me, for example. There was a point in time where I wasn't working and my old lady was. And the days that she would go to work, I would take care of my daughter and I would keep the house clean. By the time, if she came home late, my daughter would be in bed already. If she was coming home while she was awake, my daughter would be showered, fed.
So you have decorum, right on, bro.
And when my wife came in, she could hang out with her before she goes to bed. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's what it should be between couples. I mean, because more importantly, if you guys ain't splitting shit equally, then y'all ain't mature enough to be living together, is my point. Like, I'm not necessarily...
It's true. I agree. Everything that you're saying. Facts, right on, right?
There's a caveat coming.
There's a caveat. And the caveat is what the guy is telling the girl, all right? So, for example, my life, right? When I moved out with my boyfriend and husband, right? in the beginning, he was like, "Oh, I'll drive you to the train station. You don't got to get a car. You don't got to get a bus pass. You ain't got to do all of that."
He ran that game.
But he genuinely cared for my safety, right?
Yeah.
But then it was he worked, I worked, we worked opposite times of the day. He worked in the morning, I worked in the night. This is that and the third, whatever the case is. Then it became a point of an argument, like, "Oh, you need to get your license." But in my head, it's like, why are you telling me to get my license when the point of me even moving out here in the first place was because you said you was going to take me from point A to point B? Do I not hold you to your word that you said that?
Damn.
And why is it now that I feel pressure to do this? Oh. So after we spoke about it, I still don't have my license till this day because I'm in New York. But what I did learn was I needed to become more reliant on myself and not what somebody said.
Yeah.
So I started taking the bus. I don't call you anymore. I don't ask you to pick me up from nowhere. I just run my key through the door and you're going to see me when I get there, right? So it was communication. Mm-hmm. It was that communication part. It's like, "Oh, I expected you to do this because you said you was gonna do that," but then it changed into, "Oh, now it's like one of your pet peeves. It's an argument, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it myself." But I feel like a lot of women come into situations where they meet some kind of braggadocious type dude, like, "I got money for this. I could take you out. I could take you to Aspen. I could do all these things for you." And when push comes to shove, and they're sitting back in their role to be kept, they can't follow through or provide. So I feel like men and women both need to be honest with themselves and what they actually can do from what they can't. I don't like to be kept. I like for you to take care of me because I'm holding you to your word, but that doesn't mean I'm spoiled. You understand? There's a difference between the two. I expected what you said you was going to do as opposed to expecting it when you didn't say it. And I'm willing to adjust and make the changes to not have those arguments and to be seen as the girl that just wants to be kept or spoiled or, the man takes care of you. Because my dad did that, so I had to shift. My father took us to school, bought us everything. We went to the store. We got our own cereals and all of these crazy things that was specifically to you. So even in like now raising my children, I'm seeing that I'm doing that to them and they're becoming, who I turned out to be. So I'm slowly cutting those. But yeah, go ahead. I'm done. It's the fathering too. So I feel like that plays a part too. Whatever your dad, as a girl, whatever your dad did for you, you're looking to that from men.
That does play a big part.
Nothing, and I can say that's true. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They say, the first girl a man falls in love with is a dad.
Yes.
It is. It is. And mine was vacant, so it's true. And I don't expect anything from me, which D knows. Like, I like to pay my way. It's me. Mm-hmm. I'm used to it. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I don't expect anything from any individual. However, like in terms of a household, I do think that everyone should be putting whatever they need to put towards a household running. Not necessarily half here, not necessarily more there.
100% on everybody's part.
At the end of the day, once they get paid, you dig? Like, it doesn't matter if you put 20 and I put 80.
Yeah, but when I look at my sister's situation, like she's married and she pays the rent. She pays most of the bills, the groceries. Yeah. He kind of pays like, car insurance and just the car payments themselves, but she really pays for like everything else.
Who makes more?
They about the same. It's like a dollar difference.
What's the reason?
It's not big enough. You know what I'm saying?
What's the reason?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna reserve. I'm gonna reserve. I'm not gonna be an asshole. I'm going to let you go ahead and explain that because
But that situation, that's not fair to me. Like, I'm not saying that he should pay the whole rent, but he could help out. He does save more money. He has more loose. You know what I mean? More money coming in on his side.
You know what?
So what?
Let's talk about that though.
What?
At the end of the day, I can understand that being a situation in a certain aspect, right? But here's the thing: if I'm paying majority of the bills and your money's going into the bank, when it's time for us to take a vacation, son, you better be paying for everything, hotel, plane, because why are you saving your money? Why are you saving it if it's not to better us or to benefit our situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That part right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People get into relationships and be like, oh my God, this person's sexy, this, that, and the third. Can I build with you? Yeah. Do you have goals? Do you have standards? Are we going to grow together? or is this gonna stay like real fucking stagnant? I'm sorry, that's a personal.
Yeah, you're right though. You're right.
You know what? That reminds me of a story. When I was in Hawaii. I met this girl. She was cool as shit, pretty as hell, and we dated for a little bit. It's not who you think it is, somebody else. But me and this girl, we were dating for a while, and she didn't have her high school diploma. She didn't have her GED. She didn't have shit. Which again, it is what it is. But at that point, I was going to school, and I said, hey, you know what? I've always been strong to feel that if me and you get into a relationship, when you need to get out of this relationship better than when you came into it. So you got to have a better job. You got to work out and look a little something. You got to come out better than you came in. So with her situation I was like, hey, look, I feel like you should get your GED. And she was like, I'm sorry. I'm like, look, you should get your GED. I feel like it'd be good for you. She was like, yeah, but I'm not good at studying. I said, that's fine. I'll pay for a tutor. We can study together. I do my college work, you GED. So we'll do it together. Yeah, and I'll never forget. She was like, why are you trying to change me? I want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh.
And
hey, yo, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. At least she's being honest. No, she's being honest with herself. So
yes, I got that.
With you.
I got that. But not wanting to get your GED at the very least is crap. Because here's my thing, right? And listen, I got kids, man. My pullout game is weak. I'll be the first to tell you, man. I got kids. I got kids. If I fucked around and got her pregnant, and something happened to me, then how would that be okay to know that? How is she gonna take care of my child? You have no job, you have no work experience, you have no high school diploma.
But you know what? If you was to get
degree.
that girl pregnant, that would be your fault, wouldn't it?
It would be my fault. You know what I'm saying? If something happened to me, how would I know that she would take care of my kids? Well, I'm not saying it's about getting pregnant, but I'm not gonna be with anyone that I have to consider, oh shit, if I get pregnant by accident, then what happens? Or if something if we move in together, we start a family, and something happens to me, how is she gonna take care of these kids?
She eventually will be a shift manager at Arby's.
Or not. Or she can rely on the government. She can rely on the government to take care of her and said kids.
There you go.
Because she fits the qualification. She fits those qualifications.
Yeah, but see that again, that don't work for me. And that's exactly my point. People are too entitled nowadays. They feel like they deserve some shit just because, hey, I'm good looking. I deserve you to take care of me. For what? For what? You're good looking, but you got the personality of a fucking brick.
I just trapped you and now I'm gonna have your child. So you have to see me for 18 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Instagram models do that shit all the time, son.
That's a new business.
That's how you come up, though, man,
bro. That's new business. I don't know. I'm not with the shits. I can't.
It'd be Super Bowl week, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm about to go get me a baby daddy."
Yes, true.
Yo.
It is true. Like they always say that you're the company you keep. When I tell you, I ran real hard in the other direction. Like girls wanted to go to Pro Bowl weekend. I'm like, those are big football players. You're going to get raped if you go upstairs. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? Like, that kind of thing. And I'm just like, you want someone to keep you this bad? I got to go.
Bro.
But what are they? My point of this is this. I want to be kept to who? To catch the next bait? To catch the next dude? Like, what is the point of, no, I'm not saying what's the point of like doing your hair, getting your nails done, having money saved up in the bank, driving a brand new car. Like, okay, all of those, I guess, flashy things. What is that for? Like, are you trying to keep the dude that you're with, or are you trying to get the next dude? Like, what is the point?
Sometimes I think
they want to feel like they've reached the epsilon of fucking
success
without having
from one branch to another. So whoever's kind of doing
better. So they want to
Right.
see what it feels like to all this glitz and glamour without actually having to, put the footwork in and earn it. And and it's unfortunate. Like, I want to go to Sephora and I want to go get this Bentley and this, that, and the third. And I just want to know what it feels like to swipe a black card. Yeah, no matter how many I gotta pop out.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid to me.
I really feel the same way.
Son, that's all about clout at the end of the day. And you know what? I'm gonna be real with you. We are terrible at that shit, man. We feel like we get some money. We have to show off how successful. We gotta show off how successful we are. Like we can't just live regular life, you know?
That's the first thing.
Well, that's the African blood in us.
Like listen. I'm not gonna call no names, but I know this dude, right? Had a great job, right? He got some money, and the first thing he did was buy a Mercedes, even after I told him like 800 times, bro, Mercedes is expensive as shit to maintain.
Exactly. The maintenance.
That shit is send you broke. He was like, nah, nigga, I got this. And then he sits back and he says, yeah, I love this car. I really do. But damn, bro, shit. Fucking maintenance is killing me.
Yeah. It's expensive.
I'm like, instead of getting that lump sum of money and learning how to flip it, not the way of the streets, but actually investing it and starting a business or something. Instead of doing that, I want the Mercedes. I want the Chanel bag. I want all of these things that they don't give a fuck about us. Periodically. Like, seriously. That's
to show off. A man getting a car that's a Mercedes. It's status. You pull up, oh, guy, he got a Mercedes. And then when you live with him in real life, you live with him in real life, and homeboy is going from paycheck to paycheck. Homeboy don't even know like the basics of how to boil.
I need money for premium for the Mercedes.
Exactly.
Bro, you know what the best part is? The best part is that guy's gonna catch one of them girls who take the money from their boyfriends and give it to him. Oh, you need money for gas, baby? Here you go. So they can be driving around in that Mercedes. I've seen that shit before. Yep. It is hilarious. It is hilarious.
I'm sorry. People need to want to reach a level of wealth.
Right.
Where instead of like, oh, I want to go get this Louis, Gucci, Prada. I'm flying to Italy after the pandemic, of course. Gonna watch them kill the cow, watch them like do whatever they do to the goddamn hide, and make my bag, and then you can put my name on it. That's when you've reached the eminence of wealth.
Bro,
okay? I don't know who Louis is. Or Gucci or Prada. I don't know.
Or none of them. And even to get on a educational level about it, it's like you live in America, you're sourcing an outside international product into America. Logically, that's telling you that the trade it's going to be at a higher price than it's supposed to be. Like mentally, it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to be in California, North Carolina, wherever, and ordering a bag from Italy. It's going to cost me twice as much than going there my damn self and buying the actual item. Like. So
is it wrong to want nice things?
No, of course not.
What qualifies those things as nice?
Other people's opinions on it.
So in reality, it's not that you want nice things. You want people to notice that you have nice things.
I would say that in some cases.
That's all cases.
No. Put like this. If I buy something, like let's say I buy a car or a watch, those are things that I actually like. You get what I'm saying? But if I buy if anything else really, a chain or a ring or any other thing, I'd be stuck.
It's because you want to feel out there.
Okay, let me ask you a true question. When was the last time you researched a watch that wasn't a name brand of something you heard in a song or commercial or somebody talked about it?
Well, I know of a lot of watches. Like I follow a lot of people on YouTube, so I know a lot of watches. No, I'm serious.
Someone recommended it to you, right?
Well, no, I like Watch Gang. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but it's like a little watch company. It's like you pay a subscription and they send you a watch. So I know like there's a lot of little startup companies. I know what you're talking about. Italian Twine, I think that's what you might be referring to. But, but no, there's a lot of watch companies out there, and I like them all, man.
Hold on. Here's the thing about that, right? Now I do understand to a certain extent. You get what you pay for. Trust me, I learned that shit in the worst way possible. Buying some cheap shit and then getting embarrassed. It's happened. So I do understand at some point you get what you pay for. I just kind of feel like rather than go spending, $200,000 on a car to get me from point A to point B, I can go and get me, a smaller, just as nice brand new car.
You could buy a business. Listen, there's a lot of other things you can do with your money, and it's not to say that that's wrong, but like I said, if it's something that you really want, at what point do you give yourself what you want? You get what I'm saying?
When you can afford it. Here's my thing, right? once you get into a position where you say, hey, you know what? I can go buy myself a Mercedes, pay the insurance off for an entire year, and have money left over for all of the maintenance fee, and I could still pay my rent tomorrow. I could still go out and take a vacation. When you're in a comfortable position to where you're not gonna put yourself in financial straits to afford that, then you're good. Go ahead and ball outrageous, bro. Go ahead and buy whatever you want. Like if I make $1 million tomorrow, I'm going to buy me a house because at that point I can. You know, I'd go buy a house, but that's more practical, you know? And I wouldn't go buy like a mansion because I could. It would be a house, something small, something that even if, say, I started running low on funds, I could still afford whatever bills come up, you know, water, garbage, sewage. I can still afford these things. When you go buy a $300,000 mansion with $1 million, and then 2 years from now, you're like, shit.
They didn't think about that because they're gonna.
I gotta get 800 roommates to afford this shit.
But that brings it back to mentality and what you think is, I guess, the goal. Like, what's the end goal? At the end of the day, nice things come at the cost of what? Okay, why do I consider this thing nice? Is it because Jay-Z mentioned it in a song? Do I consider it nice because I personally did my research on it? It's all about like views and how you view life and what you consider to be nice things or a goal or what you're going to use your $1 million for if you ever won the lottery. Like my day to day, I used to have all those dreams. I liked the G-Wagon. I liked all these things because I heard them in songs. I saw them in videos. I thought that they were cool, you know, until I really actually started talking to people and talking to guys and realized they don't really want that. They want to see how much ambition you have. Where do you see yourself in the future? Like, what are your dreams and aspirations and your goals? And when you break those things down, all of that materialistic, I think they're materialistic, no offense to anyone. They're materialistic things, you know, like, it doesn't make you having a big ring, having a big house, having a big car, don't make you, because when the real fight or real like action gets going in the relationships or anywhere in life, how you gonna deal with it?
You're right.
Your car gonna handle your mental issues? No, it's not. It's not gonna make you feel better. Like, overall, I feel like we should be investing money in our well-being, like how we think, how we move, how we invest, like building generational wealth, and that all comes with time, knowledge, and actually saying, you know, I don't need that shit. I don't need this. I don't need that. But
I was just gonna say that it starts from who raised you and who raised who. You understand what I'm saying? And who they're allowing to raise whomever they brought in. Because if you're letting television raise your children, they're not going to learn anything about their finances. They're not going to learn anything about their survival. They're going to see a lot of violence. You understand? That's why I said, just understanding, even when people want to outsource products, like buy all Gucci, Louis, Prada, Chanel, blah, 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 and they realize that they're depleting, they don't realize that they're depleting the value of what's going on in their own country.
Exactly.
Their own dollar. They're not acknowledging that. And another thing people don't know is, like, clearly our glasses, the same manufacturer. Every single pair of glasses that you could think of. If it's
at the factory.
And then put some name brand on it, and then they up the price. You understand what I'm saying? But people don't see that. They just like, oh, well, back in the day, it used to be like that. A Nietzsche outfit where you're going to put your Jordans on. But the same person I went to college came back. They're walking down the street in their pajamas. As a grown ass man. What?
Hey, real quick, your background, your light just got like super bright.
Because I'm a sun, I shine like one.
Oh, okay. There you go. I see you. Yeah, that was an amazing clapback. I love it. Hey, but you know what? Staying true to this topic, like, I don't know if y'all remember, a couple of years ago, they had what was it, last year maybe, I want to say it was, where this young lady gave her boyfriend for his birthday a watch and a rental property. And the dude was like, I wanted.
I heard it.
Yeah, he was like, I wanted a Lexus or something like that.
Yeah.
And the internet kind of blew up.
She tried to walk up and give it to him, and he was outside like a store. He's like, I don't want that.
No, not that one.
What was that one?
No, he had the party, and they were recording it, and she was like, hey, I got you a gift. And he opens a real nice watch. He's like, oh, this is a nice watch. Thank you, babe. I love it. And then he pulled up the other one, and she was like, I got you a rental property. You know, that's the deed or whatever it was. And he was like, I mean, I wanted a Lexus. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know if she was mad or not. Maybe she kind of chalked it up. But people were like, oh, that's messed up, bro. That's selfish, you know? And other people were like, yeah, you should have gave him the Lexus. Like, it's his birthday. You give him what he wants, not what you want for him. And, you know, at first glance, I was like, yeah, maybe he was kind of being an asshole. But then somebody pointed out a really good perspective. They were like, none of us know the area. None of us know where he was talking about. It could have been a real shitty part of town. It could have been a real rundown house. It could have cost him more to fix the house than it would to sell it. You know, it might be one of the, hold on, just hear me out. It might have been one of the situations where, you know, it's useless land. Now, understand, I don't agree with that. I feel like he was kind of a dick about it because
check this out. First of all,
the intention was there, you know.
Once you take the car off the lot, it depletes in value. I don't care what rental property she got somebody, you can always flip that.
Yeah.
It's freaking real estate.
That's what I said too. I was like, come on, man.
But he's just ignorant.
Listen, the way I see it is, it don't even matter if you could flip it or not. It could have been shit land. It could have been in the worst neighborhood ever. The point is, you thought enough to want to give me that, as you said, generational wealth. You understand? You gave me a way. You gave me a way to either flip it and sell it and make some money back, or invest a little bit into it and rent it out. The point is,
I would have dumped his ass. It would have showed me that mentally we're not on the same level, so I gotta go.
Like a kid, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because what she did basically, like, let's say it was a kid, like you wanted a bike, and then your parents got you like an encyclopedia set, you know? it'd be like the same thing. So you would be upset, you know what I mean? But you're an adult now, so you'd want an encyclopedia, you know what I mean?
Be thankful for anything that's being gotten for you as an adult. Somebody thought of you. You're saying, like, she thought of him twice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what? It's even crazier. Like, a lot of the times, like, she gave him some like material shit, but a lot of the times you'll see girls do some shit like, oh, it's your birthday, I'm gonna give you some cooch, and it's like, I got that cooch last night though. Like,
what's different today?
What the fuck? What am I doing with this? This is the same tired pussy I get every other day. Like, yo, this is some bullshit.
Which is effed up because I'm giving of myself to you.
It is.
That is the greatest gift you could give, okay, is of oneself.
You know what? That's great.
Give a woman anything, we make it that much better. Okay, we do give us the house,
and that's great. But you know what? I want to hear a lot of females say that shit when it's your 10-year anniversary, and the dude is like, $5 foot long. Here you go. I'm gonna give you some dick for our 10-year anniversary, nigga. This is 10 years, man. Get your shit together. Like,
I'm sorry, I just kind of thought back again to that scenario with that keys and the rental property. Do you know how long it takes to close on a house? Like, this person actually closed on a deal, put money down probably, like exhausted her credit to get you this. Like, did you not see the work that she put in? And you talking about you want a damn Lexus?
No. And she still probably gave him some at the end of the night. So that's like 3 presents. I'm just saying.
I would have had to now. So you're telling me I have to convince you that this was a good gift? No. Bye-bye.
Well, right there, that girl, whoever that young lady was, clearly had daddy issues because she did not see her own value and depleted her own self-value, time, etc. for this individual who, I don't know how much time they spent together, but to see that they were not on the same wavelength.
I mean,
that's sad.
At the end of the day, you know, like I said, it's all on it's a generational gap. You dig what I'm saying? Like a lot of people use hindsight because I promise you in about 4 years you'll be like, damn son, I'm broke. I wish I'd have kept that property she gave me. I could have rented that shit out.
And it's sad that it takes human beings that long to learn lessons. Like, you would sit in front of somebody, you would give them all the keys, not just keys to properties. You give them all the keys, and they still don't see that shit.
Listen, let me put it to you this way. I kind of related to how we were as kids. as a kid, I'm sitting here like, yo, Dad, can I get some money for some ice cream? He's like, I'm broke. You got a job. Fuck you mean you broke? You have a, you lying, man. You lying. And now, now I'm sitting here, but it's like, Daddy, can we get McDonald's? Baby, look, it's either we have McDonald's now or we eat dinner tomorrow. Like, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy how now you kind of see what they went through. And you're like, shit, man.
Yeah, like,
you see what you put there, you know? That's kind of messed up.
It is, man. This shit is no joke.
But that means they didn't pass down the keys. Like Dexter, we talked about this already, about passing things down to us, right? So a lot of you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but Dexter, you was born in Guyana.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm first generation American. So in our family, I would say roughly there's like 1 million of us. Roughly like 200 were actually born in America.
Real quick. I'm gonna touch back. See, it's not just me. Most of the niggas in my family pull out game this week too, because they got 12, 13 kids. And it's a generational thing. Like, it's in my DNA. I can't help it. It's kind of like, hey, did you pull out? I didn't even try. I'm sorry.
They got mad kids, but in like now I'm 31, so I'm now like thinking about everything, and I see my kids or whatever, and I'm just thinking like, yo, I'm first generation American. Like, we were literally parents of actual direct immigrants, not like, oh yeah, my great grandmother just came from the country in 18 something. In 1981, my parents came to this country and met. Well, I think my dad came like 81, and I think my mom came like 82-ish or whatever the case was. And then they met. My mom spoke nothing but Spanish. My dad's Guyanese. And then they had kids their first kid was 87, 88. Now we're the only it's 31 years I've been in this country. That's 31 years of just one generation. Then my siblings are, their generation or whatever. I have no lineage. My parents knew nothing about nothing. Still don't till this day. We're still like educating them on things, student loan debt. Like, that was okay. We're still educating them on so much that we don't have a resource to go back to and say, well, Mom and Dad, you should have did this, you could have did that, this is what you should have done. So now we're having family meetings where it's like, how are we all going to invest in a property that we can pass down to our families and generations to come? Because my dad will tell me all the time, I regret. His father told him in like the 80s, right? Like 82 or something, go invest in those brownstones in Brooklyn. They was like $1,500. Go get your check. Yes.
Yeah, back then.
Yes.
When was this?
A while back.
In the 80s.
In the 80s.
Wow.
When Bed-Stuy was bad and it was a part of the crack pandemic and all of those things, the property was terrible.
Them brownstones now?
So my dad's a plumber, and he's like, oh yeah, my father used to tell me invest in those, and I was always like, I'm too young, I'm flashy, I'm driving my cool cars, yada yada. He never did it. Those are the same houses he went back in like 2006 to do like plumbing for people and fixing up the houses, and the net value of those houses was like in the millions.
Millions now, yeah.
It's like
millions.
1.5, yeah. Listen, 1.5, 1.8. Some of them are expensive as hell, man.
And he says the only thing I regret till this day was not making those investments then.
Listen, let me give you a perfect example of not showing how flashy you are. When I was coming up, me and my cousin Ron, we used to work at he owned a refrigerator fix-it shop, right? So we would go out these high-end fridges, and one day he said, "Hey, we got to go do this Jewish family's freezer and fridge in Brooklyn." Now, when we got there, I'm looking around and I'm like, "Man, this place is kind of rough." We go inside. I couldn't find the fridge anywhere. My cousin's like, "You can't find it." No. He goes and he hits something on the wall and the fridge comes out. That is the first time in my life that I see $1 million fridge in the middle of Brooklyn. And then as I step outside, 2 Bugattis. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, and you would have never guessed it.
Yeah.
Like that, blew my mind. I was like 16, 17 at this time. Maybe not even that old. That shit was crazy.
That was wealth.
Wealth.
Right.
That's
Right.
wealth.
And keeping it and passing it down from generations to generations.
How is he passing it down if he has 2 Bugattis?
It wasn't it wasn't two Bugattis in the same person. It was 2 Bugattis in this neighborhood.
Oh,
he doesn't necessarily have to pass the item down. It's about the fact that they have built up a community to even afford the item to begin with. That's the wealth. It's not the physical money. It's the knowledge of how to get it.
And how to keep it and how to handle it.
And keep it and pass it down. They have built in Crown Heights of Brooklyn, New York. Till this day, they moved all the way to Williamsburg and all of those things. They have a community where they know, and I watch so many documentaries on Netflix about like their little communities and the Orthodox Jews and how they do things.
Right.
When they divorce their wives, she still owns an apartment building in the husband's rental property that he owns, that he takes care of his kids, go to welfare and say, I need help paying my rent, and the man still gets paid. Do you understand like how much they are the number one use of WIC and food stamps, Jewish women. It's in their communities. Exactly. And when they get married, something that they do on their taxes, they can say, I'm a stay-at-home mom with 7 kids. I need food stamps and get money. And their man is like a millionaire, billionaire.
Hey, really quickly. And that is when I believe at that point the man should be the provider.
Yes.
I'm taking care of you. Listen, I will buy you a Mercedes tomorrow if you want to. Shit.
Factuals, but it's so much to even talk about there.
I'm just, it's even crazier, man. When it comes to kids, I look at my daughters right now, and I sit here and I'm like, God, was I this much of an asshole growing up? Holy shit! Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they ain't drowned me yet, man. This is terrible. This is like, Jesus, man. Man, I'm telling you.
We talk more and stuff to our kids too, though. We definitely do different things than our parents did growing up. We give them chances. We didn't get that. We don't give them as much beatings with household items. We don't do
acoustic.
Come on.
The wooden kitchen spoon.
Yeah, that's what a cuckoo stick is.
Everyone got one of those. Yo, I swear, people down south be like, oh, they send you to get a switch. Nigga, you got to go outside. When it was after time, it was really whatever's there. Because then outside we get outside one day. Like, it's not for escape. But yeah, man, that shit is crazy how everything changed up. And the more you look at it, the more people are starting to feel entitled that, hey, because this is what it is, I deserve this, or I deserve going out and just getting it. It's like, okay, well, we're married, so fix my car. No, how about we're married, so I'm gonna teach you how to be self-reliant. In fact, you know what? Just like you, me, and my old lady had the same thing. I told her all the time. I said, look, I want you to learn how to drive, and when I get a chance, I'm gonna teach you how to drive stick shift. Not because she necessarily needs to know it, but what happens if I'm not around and that's your only option?
Let me ask you, how comfortable are you with, like, you do the outside work and she does the inside?
I do it all the time.
So that's what you do.
Yeah, the other day I changed the brakes on the car, all 4 brakes, no issue at all. But at the end of the day, if I have, this mornings I'll get up while my kids are asleep and I'll clean the living room, I'll do the dishes, I'll prep dinner, to cook later on. So whenever she gets up, we just kind of kick back on the couch and be lazy assholes all day until it's time to cook. At the end of the day, you gotta give and take in situations like that. You know what I'm saying? You get what you get. You get what you put out, so to speak. And a lot of people don't seem to get that. It's all about what you can do for me, but what could you do for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
If all you're bringing to the table is sex, then miss me with that, man. I can get that.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
It's anywhere, because there's going to be a lot of the times as you get older that you won't even be able to do those things, like, so what else can you build on? What shows are you watching? What conversations are you having? Like, can we go to the store and I give you a list and you can actually get everything on the list without forget, like little things. The little things.
Like, can we be an efficient team?
Right. Is teamwork relevant? And a lot of people miss that part, like the relevancy. And there was something that you said earlier, Dexter, that was like, I stayed, like when I wasn't working, I stayed with my daughter. And a lot of people look at it like, I babysat my own kids. Well, you babysat your kids that you had, these are your kids. You don't babysit your kids.
Watching your kids,
you don't watch your kids. You take care of your kids. Like you were with them this day, like all day. So there's no problem in that. But once guys begin to see what women do while taking care of their kids, while running the household, while doing all those things, you start to care more about how much the woman is doing or did do.
You ain't lying. Especially when my younger daughter was born, I thought shit was sweet. Bro, my kids humbled the hell. I told them, I'm like, yo, you know what? You got this. Listen, I thought this was easy. It isn't. And it's even harder because I was going to school at the same time. I was like, yo, you got, like, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was your life. I'm surprised you ain't left already, man. This shit is rough.
This is rough. Oh yeah, we'll just come home. Oh, you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Great. Dinner better be on the table. I better get sex every night. Excuse me. The amount it takes to actually breastfeed a child, yeah, you could miss me with that. The amount it takes to cook a meal, make sure this child eats it and it's not being thrown everywhere. Like I stayed at home with my first kid's 5. I stayed at home with him the first 3 years of his life. 4, I kind of put him in daycare and I pulled him out because I didn't like what was going on. And then for 5, he hit pre-K or whatever up here in New Jersey. So it was fine. My second is 2 years old, so he's been with us the entire time. But then around the time he was born, my husband was home with my child. Not because he didn't work, because he had the ability to work from home. So when it was like, oh, now you got to work from home, actually respond to emails, pick up a phone call with a crying baby in the background, you begin to you see what happens here, right? You see what happens when I call you, like, how far are you from home? Because I'm gonna need for you to come take over my shift because I can no longer do it. And so he got so grateful for that now it's like no brainer. In the morning, if I just sleep a little longer, he's up. He made breakfast for everybody, got my coffee ready, knows how to do it. Like, so it took communication for me to say, I can't do this alone. I need you.
Really quickly, 2 things. Number 1, I did not know the importance of that phone call until I had to make it to your house. Shit, where's that? Oh my God, I'm about to murder both of these kids. Yes. And 2, you know what? When me and my old lady got together, we actually had that conversation. It was, hey, so now that we're living together, do you expect me to cook every day? And here was my answer. I said, no, 3 days out of the week, 3 out of 7, that's all I need. She was like, well, how so? I said, if you cook on Monday, we can eat leftovers on Tuesday. Cook on Wednesday, leftovers on Thursday. Friday, we'll do takeout. Saturday, spend for yourself, where you make your own shit or starve. And Sunday, we'll go out to eat.
Why is that a thing in the Black household?
Huh?
So why is that a thing in the Black household? Spend for yourself. Because not all the time do you want to cook something extravagant. And sometimes I might have a taste that you might not want. Like I might want fucking grilled cheese sandwiches, and you might want lobster and steak tonight. Okay, you want it, by all means. Knock yourself out. That is true, bro. Like when my parents did that to me, they would just like literally take off. And I would literally have to like press my eyes. I have to get on my bike and ride to Walmart or the Taco Bell. Hold on. See, no, we feed our kids. Okay. It's, hey, sweetie, would anyone old enough to prepare their own meals? Yeah. You on your own, man. You have to figure this. Like my daughter now, she's old enough to where she makes her own eggs. She'll get up in the morning and she'll be like, Dad, eggs. Huh?
How old is she?
7.
That's good.
That's a good age.
She'll get up and be like, Dad, I made my own eggs. And I'm like, that's dope. Is the kitchen on fire? No. All right, cool. I trust you. I'll deal with whatever calamity is
mess you made
when I get there. But you made your own eggs and I didn't have to get up on my ass. Cool. Especially now that I'm working Monday through Friday. You know, it's like I enjoy these days.
But do you think if you had sons at the same age, it would be a difference?
I have sons older than that, and it is absolutely not the same thing.
Okay.
My older sons, I'll be able to tell them, hey, y'all nigga, it's
Don't
been
burn the house down.
no, not even, not like they'll come and they'll like visit with us, and I'll be like, yo, nigga, y'all been in this room for the past 2 days. Y'all gonna come out and eat? Oh, damn, we forgot.
Gotta eat.
I'm like,
They forgot to
to
eat.
eat.
So what are we gonna do if I didn't say nothing?
You know, exactly. Like if I didn't say anything, y'all just gonna sit here and pass out, huh? All right, cool.
Video games?
What's up?
They sounded like they were playing video games.
Yeah, or they're on their phones watching YouTube, which is weird. Like they'll watch shows of people playing video games, which
that's their reality TV.
What?
Yeah,
See, and the thing is, to do it for hours is what and it'd be the most boring. It'd be the most boring games. Like they'll be watching somebody play Minecraft, and I'm like, bro, oh Jesus Christ,
that for hours.
Yeah. Like I understand if it was Call of Duty or I don't know.
Yeah.
I miss the days when parents used to throw PlayStations and Sega Genesis out the window if you wasn't doing what you're supposed to do.
Or they gonna pack it in a barrel and send it back home.
Yeah, exactly.
Now listen, I was petty at a young age, so you know what my answer would be? You paid for it. I don't give a shit. Throw it out the window. I'm gonna go upstairs to my cousin's house and play their system. And then I would probably get an ass whooping, but still, I still won that in my head.
In your head, there you go.
Listen, man. Being West Indian and them ass whoopings that were horrible. You know what? You know what? I remember I was real young, and I don't know if y'all remember not Jerry Springer. What was the other one?
Maury.
Was it Maury? It might have been Maury, where the kid was like, "Oh, if you hit me, I'm gonna call the cops on you."
Mm-hmm.
And I caught myself talking shit, but like it was to like my brothers and sisters. My mom wasn't supposed to hear none of this. She was supposed to be asleep, and I was like, "She can't hit me. I'm gonna call the cops. She can't. I'm just telling her I'm gonna call the cops. She ain't gonna hit me. I'm sick of it. I'm done with this." And she heard, right? So I want to say about a week later, I got in trouble. I did something real bad because I was a terrible child. And before she whoops my ass, she was like, "I'm about to whip your ass. Here's the phone. If you'd like, you can call the cops now." I'm like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "Go ahead and call the cops." By the time they get here, it's gonna be too late. I was like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "I'm gonna whoop that ass, and then you can call them, and they can come and take you." And I'm like, I didn't know how to respond to that.
Sound like me.
I was like, you know what happened when they told their parents that on TV? They was like,
yeah, they were white.
You can't hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all I said was, I'm gonna call the cops. And I think she kind of whooped my ass more because I made the empty threat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
but I had a belt specially made for my ass. Like it was 5 layers. It was 5 layers thick. She got it made in Barbados. It didn't have a buckle on it. It was made specially for my ass. Okay.
Jesus. I'm gonna
say is she waited for me to get out the shower. I lied to her.
Jesus. That is a West Indian. That's their go-to.
Get your skin while it's wet.
Get your ass in the shower.
Part of the story. That's part of the story. So we watched too much TV, and I thought that whole chair under the doorknob thing worked. That shit don't work. She bust the door open, and then I just saw white light. That was it.
Like, and the thing is, any West Indian person you talk to, they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, no, that's straight out of the shower thing. That was because you know what? I remember they're like, go take a shower, and I'm like, all right, did I? Oh no, asshole, but then I skipped it.
Yeah, like we're out of it. No,
yes.
Right out that damn.
And then you get out the shower all confident, like, yeah,
naked as you're born and wet.
Once my mother didn't even wait for me to get out the shower. Like,
what did you do?
I did so many things. I honestly don't know.
Terrible boy. He was just a regular boy. That's how y'all all are.
Listen, I was an asshole. I'm an asshole now, and I look at my daughters, and I'm always kind of like,
don't turn out like me.
God damn it.
But being around him, I'm afraid.
I always think that if they're not that bad, is this what I was like when I was a kid? Like, holy shit.
No, I feel like our parents just didn't want chat back. They didn't want you to have a voice of reason. Yeah. They didn't want none of that. I think when I was younger, I was considered rude too. My parents tell me all the time, "You too rude. Shut your mouth. You're this, you're that, you're this." So when I went into environments where it was time for me to voice my opinions, I was considered a punk because now I'm quiet, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to get beaten. So when I did speak up, it always led to a principal call, a teacher call. This one teacher showed up to my house one time, and it was that bad.
Let me guess. Hold on. You had like a long fuse, right? But once that fuse was done, that was it. Like
that was it, right?
Catching it.
No, I don't think it was that. I think I'm the type of person that I'll tell you, I'll listen to you, I'll hear you out, and then I'll give you the reason after of why I won't do something, right? So if my parents told me something, I'm like, but if all I have or all I need to go to the movies is money and I have money, why can't I go? Like, what is the purpose of you telling me no? I want to know that.
And I will tell you, and that's the thing.
I look up to you.
Yeah, our parents never explained that. In fact, a lot of the times when I try to be like, yeah, but oh shit, I'm sorry, okay.
Yeah. And that's when you get
it.
So then you start thinking mentally, oh, that I was wrong. I'm never do that again. I'm gonna never do that again. I got the beatings, and then I still was the same way in the next minute because I need you to understand me and I need you to hear me. So by the time I hit high school, I just flipped into like a different person. It was like, oh, okay, let me suck up all the bullshit. Great, we're doing great things. And by the time I hit college, it was like, oh, I can't be that person no more. I'm away in a different state. I'm not in Brooklyn anymore. There's no Caribbean people here. They're all American. They would fight my ass. So let me return into the real me. Guess what, Shine? Stop making fun of my voice. I know it's deep, but you're not going to do that. You know, like, so I turned into let me be more honest with you. And that's how I started to make more friends. You know, all my friends loved me because I was honest. But I see my 5-year-old. And a part of me laughs every time he gets or checks me when I say something to him, because in reality, we resort back to our parents. No, because I said so. No, you can't have it because I said so. And he's like, well, why?
Why?
Listen,
why?
West Indian people, they don't deal in reason. They don't want to give you there's no reason to do it.
Hold on. I give my kids a reason. People would say I'm too honest with my daughters, excuse me. Let me tell you the story. Somebody tell me, they're like, yo, that's too honest. I used to work as a merchandiser. And I was in the hotel, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, man, you know you can get coke through the mail." And I'm like, "You're so full of shit. I believe none of that." And he proves me wrong. He orders coke through the internet and gets it delivered to the hotel. And it was crazy because he came to my door as I was on the phone with my daughter, just talking to her because I haven't seen her in a couple of days. And he's like, "Hey, bro, so look, here's my coke." And without even asking us, me and my roommate, without even a second word, he proceeds to just nonchalantly cut a line on my dresser.
Oh no!
I was like, wait, so we just coke on random dresses? Okay. So as he's doing the line, my daughter's like, "Daddy, what are you doing?" So because I want to be honest, I said, "Sweetie, Daddy's watching his friend do coke off of a random dresser," and my roommate was like, "Dude," I'm like, "Look, I'm not gonna lie to my daughter about these.
Keep it a buck.
I want to be honest with her. I don't want her to feel like because here's the thing. As a kid, I did what you try to stop me from doing. If you told me when I'd go out, Mom would be back at midnight, and I'm like, "Mom, I'm not getting back at midnight." And because you told me midnight and I'm gonna get in trouble, if I'm a minute late past midnight, I'm just not gonna come in until about 6 o'clock the next morning.
Because I'm already gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, if I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna get in trouble. So it's not so much the whole thing of
I
don't want my daughter to feel like, hey, I gotta be dishonest with my parents. I want my daughters to say by 18, "Hey, Dad, I'm in the house. Can I have a beer?" Regardless of what my answer is gonna be, at least I know she respects us enough to ask or do it someplace where it's safe, rather than having to sneak out, go to a party, get drunk, and get raped by some dude or get a DUI or some stupid shit because it happens.
That's the first beer with my mother.
I'll be perfectly honest. Hell, I wouldn't be happy if my daughter went out to a party at the age of 18 and got drunk. But if she did and she called like, "Dad, look, I got drunk and there's no other way around it. Please come get me."
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, "You know what? I'm mad that you got drunk at this random person's house with no backup plan, but I'm really happy that you
decided to call me."
Exactly, or that you kept enough of a state of mind to call me. rather than.
But does that serve the argument? Because I had this conversation with my mother before about like the whole birth control thing, and how a lot of our white counterparts. I know it's a topic you're gonna have to deal with soon, but
listen.
It ties into other things, but it's a conversation of, do you have the preventative conversations or do you have the conversation after it already happened?
Say this. A lot of things, because I feel like we're kind of not varying, but we're going to start back off where we started, which is everything begins with the conversation.
You're absolutely right. These do start with conversations we need to have, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Like, just keep it on. Like I said, I knew about sex since I was in a crib. Because I was like, Mommy, where do babies come from? And she kept it a buck with me. And I know exactly where they came from. And I knew that I was conceived in the ocean. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she just kept it a buck with me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, no, she kept it a buck. And like, I didn't start smoking any kind of anything until I was in my 30s. You understand what I'm saying? Because conversations were had. I wasn't curious about anything because I saw everything. You know what I'm saying? And that whole cutting cocaine, I'm still uncomfortable around cocaine to this day. So I commend you. Okay, that way I still could go somewhere. I know about it, but I don't want to.
Listen, hold on. In my defense, I've never seen anyone do cocaine in real life. Ever.
Word? See, that's what I'm saying.
I've never been in the same room as real cocaine ever. Like, I've been around a lot of things, but never cocaine. So
that's what I'm saying. I saw that stuff on top of a dresser. I was like, what's that? And then, do you want to hit? When I tell you, I went right outside, went straight to my crib. I was like, I can't fuck with this. I really, I'm keeping the buck. Like, it took me fucking generations to even touch marijuana. Like, because I don't like altered. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I said, have these conversations with your children. Run away from coke.
Stay away from the white devil.
Exactly. Don't even do no perms, no nothing. Stay away from the white crack. All of
everything. Anything. Them lotions. But I agree. I feel as though like a lot of, adult, because people will say, oh yeah, it's you're just messed up because you don't know. No, a lot of your adult mishaps and decisions that you went wrong in life was because no one talked to you about it as a child.
Precisely. And, like finances, everything.
Exactly. And they tell you, oh yeah, when you're 18, get out there and live life. But what did you prepare me for? Like, which part of it did you prepare me for? I don't remember any of it. We was told how to earn money. That's easy. Hey, do chores, you get an allowance. What do I then do with this allowance? So what I used to do was save my money and save it to buy something. I wanted a Gigapet, Pokemon cards, a CD player, an album, a bootleg DVD. Whatever it was, I used to impulse save. So I saved.
You're showing your age there, cuz.
I am. I don't.
She's like, I got a Digipet.
Come on. But it showed me that once I reached to college, I used to overdraft like a mother. Really? Every other week I was overdrafted in my account. My parents had to start sending me money, Western Union. And instead of them having the conversation like, well, where is it that you are going wrong? It's like, I had the money available. I bought what I wanted. And now when I need it, I don't have it. So then I turned into the person that, okay, they sent me my $300 for the month. I blew it week one. By the end of the month, I'm dying. And I would not call them because I know I somewhat did something wrong, but I didn't know how to fix it.
You know what? I feel like that kind of starts where the parents would get like your birthday money. They're like, yeah, we're gonna hold it for you. After 7 years, you give them the birthday money, and then one year you're like, hey, so
I spent that on
a bill. I paid a bill with that about 7 years ago. And I think that's what's the problem is. They don't teach us how to save money. Instead of saying, hold on to your money, figure it out. They say, hey, we're going to hold this for you so you don't spend it stupidly. And you never see it. So it's kind of like, well, you didn't teach me how to save. You didn't teach me how to set money aside. It might have been different for you, Esther, but for me, that's how it was. And, look, I'm not mad that my money went towards bills. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I just kind of wish that I would have had the explanation of, look, this is how you save and this is how you prioritize what needs to be taken care of than what doesn't. You understand? So when I joined the military, and I started making money. It was kind of like, well, like my first deployment, I was making great money. I came back. I did like that guy who bought the Mercedes. I bought me I bought a car, brand new. Like I wasn't even back for a month. I was
What
like,
kind of car?
back then it was a Chrysler 300.
I remember you telling me that.
I bought my.
And that was a baller car when he bought it.
It was. I bought that for rash. And then you know the worst, I bought it and I took it off the lot straight to put a sound system in it. Like that was my second stop, straight to put. And I would have put rims, but I had bought this special edition that came with chrome rims on it already.
It was a nice one.
So yeah, I didn't have to upgrade that. But the point, and my third stop was tints. Tints. Yeah. But the problem was no one ever like explained to me.
Sat you down and said, hey, save that money.
Or not even. Not all cars do you have to put a system in. Not all cars do. If you buy a classy car,
you don't need that.
That's enough. You don't need much to sell it. It looks nice. It drives well. It's a luxury vehicle. Enjoy it for that. You know. Mm-hmm. But we're running a little late on time here, so.
Oh, sorry.
No. We good. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up with closing opinions. How do we all feel about the whole gender stereotype that the man has to pay the most bill or the man has to pay for the dinner date?
I think it should be equal.
You think what, Javon?
So I think it should be equal.
On the date?
On the date, I mean, if you told her that you were going to take her out,
well, yes. If she
wants to pay for it or she wants to pay for her, that's fine. But I think as a man, if you showed up, you should be able to afford it.
In fact, really quick, me and Esther, when we first met, after we hung out a couple of times, Esther would hit me up, hey, what you got going on? I'm like, oh, nothing, I'm bored in the barracks. She'd be like, oh, you know what? I'm coming to get you. Mm-hmm. At this point, I didn't have a car. I just got to Hawaii. She had and I'm gonna come get you.
To pull up on you.
She would. She did, man. Honestly, the roles were reversed for a little bit there. And the thing was, I knew nowhere Hawaii, so I'd be in the passenger seat like, where we going next?
Where are we going again?
Where we going? And she would like take me all over the island. And the thing was, whenever it came time to like paper stuff, it would always be I got this, Esther. She'd be like, oh, I already paid, nigga. So at that point, I almost wanted to say, am I supposed to be putting out? Like, like, are you fucking tonight? Like, what's going on here?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, but that's my point. At the end of the day, if it's all about who invited who, but more important is who is most comfortable doing it. Mm-hmm. If we go out 60 times and I pay, half the time, and the other half you're like, nah, I already got this. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with that. Now, honestly, a majority of the time, what I will do is if I go out and let's say she says, hey, I'm going to pay for the food, I'll say, you know what? I got the next thing then. I'll pay for the movies, or I'll pay for golfing, or
how about this? Just don't talk about it. That makes it even better.
Yeah.
It's just
that's exactly how
it should just flow naturally.
I with that.
That's where
like, yo, I paid last time.
I paid last time. I'll pay this time.
You paid last time.
I'll pay for the next. It should just. This is the mind is so messed up about that, but it should just be naturally. You invited me out to dinner, great. I'm conscious enough to order affordable things where it's not like I'm gonna eat a freaking lobster and. Just recently, probably we have been 14 years in. Recently, I started saying, I think I'm going to get the shrimp dish with the crab. But I'm mindful of that because I know our money is one money. So I put money into that too, kind of. So technically, it's our money buying my meal. So it's more effortless now to say I can get what I want. But when I'm on somebody's dime, I'm very conscious and think to myself, okay, I'll just do the burger for $12 and get a regular drink. And then I always ask the question, oh, you drinking tonight? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get a drink. Okay, yeah. And then he'll ask me, well, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, okay, that's the okay that I can order a liquor beverage and we're not getting wild. You understand? Mm-hmm. Or I'll still pick things that's, okay, what's your special? What's the deal of the day? Be conscious. Be a conscious person so they can see value in you for the next date. Like,
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? More importantly, again, I hate to keep bringing up me and Esther, but even back then, if we would go out, the days that we wouldn't, I'd be like, you paid 15 last time. Hey, let me get two of your most expensive shots of tequila. I got this. And it was her question. It was never, hey. It was always, I got it. No
yes.
You know, no worries. Even when she be like, I just got a beer. Let me get the two most expensive.
Exactly. But you thought
this.
about, you
No
see,
worries.
there's a difference, X-Roy. You thought about it like, okay, this girl, she's been doing for me somewhere or another. I got to give back. That's the heart in you, right?
Exactly.
It's not that you're doing it to get vagina at the end of the day or penis at the end of the day. It's the fact that, okay, somebody genuinely did something nice for me. Let me repay them. That's the difference
of the friendship or whatever you do. But exactly, that should be like, okay, I can have this motherfucker around me. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
If somebody,
that's
like,
how you build the trust.
For the lobster? You know, if you hear that, you gotta walk. You gotta walk. All right.
So basically, at the end of the day, it's not about who pays, but regardless, be mindful on how you're gonna go out to eat. Don't go out and expect someone else to pay and put $300.
Precisely. But if someone invites me out, right, I know in the back of my head, I know what I like to eat, so I have money to pay for the scallops I want to pick up, or the cocktail I want to have, even though this person's bringing me out, and I'm going to be mindful of what I'm putting on this tab if I'm getting any tab. You understand?
The last time me and Esther went out, my wife was with us. She took us to City Island. She was like, "Get whatever." I'm like, "No, I'll just get a beer." Listen, bring him whatever he says he wants a beer. Bring him this because he here trying to be cheap because I'm paying for it. I'm like, like, no, look, just don't worry about it. At the end of the day, I don't mind as a guy expecting you to expect me to pay, which is fine. But like I said, be mindful with it. Don't sit here and say, "Hey, we're gonna go to the most expensive restaurant in the neighborhood," and then you pay for it.
Like, you said you understand. You as a guy, you expect me to pay for it. We're still ending back up where we started.
I mean,
like, people shouldn't expecting nobody to pay for it.
You're right. Don't expect me to pay for anything just because I'm a guy. If I want to pay, that's fine. Let me do me. But don't expect it. But anyway, this was a good conversation, everyone.
It was awesome.
It was.
Yep. And thank you for all the viewers for joining us today. We're putting out more of these videos as time goes by. So go ahead and hit a like and a subscribe and get your notifications for videos.
How often are we going to post?
Nigga, how often we fucking post, man?
Hopefully every week. Hopefully every week.
Listen, the motherfucker who can't even show up for the first week.
I'm here, man. Okay.
Anyhow, we'll see y'all later. Thank you for joining us. Have a good one.
Nice kicking it with you guys. Bye.